everyone, I'm back again with another VR video. I've just spent the last 2 hours trying to get some good VR settings put in place. And for those that probably are not interested too much, it's probably around like recording VR, like I'm doing now. So when you put in your VR headset and you get driving, you adjust your settings to what looks good, your computer, how it's running, etc, etc, and you just start to play around. Can you up the textures, can you up the anti-aliasing, those types of things. So you get that running smoothly, then you go to record the gameplay, and all of a sudden, especially with my computer, the frame rate drops and your computer's doing a lot more work, and then all of a sudden it's just a lot more difficult to have a nice smooth drive. So I spent 2 hours now driving, practicing, changing settings, recording to see what best I can do. I think I've come up with a pretty decent setting, which I'll show you at the end. But in the meantime, we're just going to go for a little drive on the Nürburgring in the Bentley. It was meant to be about 8 o'clock at night, although looking outside, I would not say that was 8 o'clock at night unless we're in the summer. So, yeah. I still don't know if it's the game that's causing the problem. I've done game capture on Project Cars for VR before, testing it out, and it ran fine. So I think hopefully that they're still ironing out bugs on the game and the VR. So, but anyway, let's go and take a drive. We're only going to do a couple of laps. It's almost like it's morning, to be honest, early morning. So unless you can see it in the actual gameplay, I've had to take off anti-aliasing, which means that all the lines, especially the white lines around the circuit, so on the corners here and here, it's quite jagged looking. Anti-aliasing takes off that jaggedness and makes it look a lot smoother. As soon as I turn that up, it just basically, the game just is unplayable. So I've had to turn that off. The next one that I found as well is processing. Again, whilst it's trying to sort of improve the processing, again, to make the cars and the lighting look a lot better, as soon as you start turning that up, again, it slows it down. So that's had to be reduced as well. So just warming up the tyres a bit. I'm still running the Bentley because I just prefer this car to the Lamborghini. It's still a lot more playable and a lot more drivable, even though, he says as he runs wide, even though the Bentley from the outside looks like a bit of a whale, I find it runs a lot better, which I've mentioned in my previous video. So I'll stick with this for a minute. Okay, so we're just going to do one quick hot lap ish. I'm not going to push it too much, still trying to get used to the car. I'd say we're out of I wouldn't say that was 8 o'clock at night, but down to the first corner, braking, car gets a bit loose. I don't like this section of the track. I've always found it to be, why they spoilt it, I don't really know. It's like you can't get a huge amount of overtaking. And then we're into this tight, which we can run wide on, not too wide like I just did there. So I've been to the circuit before, sat in this grandstand just ahead of me there. So actually, that's a good stand to be in. Actually, you can see a good couple of 2-3 corners from that stand. You can get quite close as well. Although, if you had the money, you'd probably maybe look to go here because you can see them coming down the hill and then going up the hill. Can't take that flat, we'll run over the curve there. Click the inside, run slightly wide. Very wide, didn't get the apex at all. We'll run wide there. Coming towards the end of the lap now, flat out. Heavy braking coming into the chicane. Oh, clipped the cone. That was a pretty scruffy lap actually. Very bad. Right, so there we go. Now, if I slam on the brakes. Right, now if we get up, if I have a quick look, just I can show you a bit more detail of the actual inside of the car whilst I'm here, if you can see it all. Right, so if we go to options, we go to the video display, and these are what I'm looking at, and that's how I'm currently running my settings. So we've got resolution scale at 100. Anything more than that, again the game starts to slow. Got epic view, distance, shadows are mid, anti-aliasing is off. Then we go down to the effects are off. Post-processing, that was it. That slows the game down a lot. Sharpness at 100. Foliage and texture at epic. That doesn't seem to make a difference. Frame limit 100. Mirror quality mid. Doesn't really bother me. Opponent visibility 20, and then we've disabled the motion blur and saturation is at 100. So there we go. So come out of that and that. So we have it. Thank you for watching, and hope you found this helpful. And I'll catch up with you again soon. Please subscribe for more videos. They'll always be coming throughout the week as I try and adjust some settings more so. Probably look at some project cars as well. Until next time.